Hi guys, I'm redoing the video on here since it disappeared off Facebook. I don't know who made the card. I seen a picture of it, sat down, figured out how to make it, and I'll show you how to make it again. First off, you're going to need a 5x7 card blank. If you don't have a 5x7 card blank, cut a piece of cardstock that is 10 by 7, and with the 10-inch side at the top of your scoreboard, score in half at 5, and that will give you your 5x7 card. And then you are going to need a journaling card, or paper that makes a picture. Or if you have a piece of 8x8 paper or 12x12 paper that you could cut, that has a nice picture that you could cut, you can use that. So I've got a bunch of pieces here cut for these cards, and okay, and I cut my pieces ahead of time, but other than that I haven't done anything else ahead of time. I don't really like doing videos like that, but that's just the way this one is going to work out. So you're going to need 2 pieces of paper that are 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and you can use cardstock, coordinating cardstock. You can use printed background papers, whatever you want to use. Okay. And then you're going to need a piece of paper, and I cut this 4x6. Then you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock that are 4x5. You're going to leave 2 of them whole, and you are going to cut one of them into 5 1-inch strips. Okay. And then you're going to need 2 pieces of paper that are 4 by 5. And you are going to cut your journaling card or your picture paper to 4 by 5, and you are going to cut that into 5 1-inch strips, and that'll do portrait wise. If you want, it works landscape wise, but you will the only measurement you will change will be these, your picture, and you will cut it into 4 1-inch strips instead of 5. And then you'll want 4 or another piece of paper cut to 4 by 5, and you will cut that into 4 1-inch strips, and then whatever you used for this paper, cut a 4 by 5 1-inch strip that matches, and that'll all make sense when I put it together. So first off, I'm going to take my 2 4 by 5 pieces and these 2 4 by 5 pieces, and I'm going to flip you down so you can see what I'm doing. Lovely. Let's get that back up here. Okay. There. That'll be good. That over here so you can see a little bit better. So I'm just going to glue I'm just going to glue these together.
I wonder what he was measuring earlier.
I don't know. And I'm just going to line that right up on there. And glue it down. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this one. And if you're wondering what papers I'm using the new Graphic 45 Ghostly Greetings paper pack. Okay, and just gonna do the same with this. Go it right on top of there. Okay, now we're going to set them aside and let them dry. And if you're using decorative papers, you can just stick these on your card. But I've got a Halloween theme going, so I'm making my own background. And like I said, I usually have all of this done, but it just didn't work out so I could. Okay, so I got that one done. Put that one over there. And I'm just using a silver ink pad and a piece of a makeup sponge to do this. Alright, so now I'm done with that, and we got that part done. Get that out of my way. And we'll put that aside. and get a wipe. And wipe off where I inked and didn't want to, and my fingers. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my card blank. And I'm just going to varnish that. And I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue it. And you can use whatever you want to. You can use tape runner, double-sided tape, glue, whatever you like using. And then I'm just going to center that. On the front of my card. Where I like it. And I'm just going to burnish on the back side just in case that ink wants to smudge, which it did, but that's okay. And I'm going to open up my card and I'm going to take the other piece and I'm going to put glue on that. I'm going to glue that piece to the inside of my card. Okay. And turn it over. Varnish that down. Okay. Alrighty. And then I'm going to take this piece, which is just a piece of white pearlescent paper. just going to center that. Right there on the inside of my card. Okay. So we got that done. And it's given these time to dry. And then you're going to want to make a frame. You could trace a frame and cut it with a ruler and craft knife. You could cut it on your paper trimmer. Or if you have a die cut, you can use that. And where did my die cut go? Okay. And your frame, what your measurement for your frame can be whatever you want it to be. So you can get the most out of seeing the picture on your paper. And that looks pretty center to me. Make sure I didn't move it. And I'm just using a Post-it note to hold it in place. You can use washi tape, any type of low-tack tape to hold it in place. And I will be, nope, I want that, wasn't quite even at the top and the bottom. Okay, let's try this again. Okay. I will be right back because I'm going to run this through my die machine. Okay. There we go. And you can save these because you can use it inside your card, or you can save them for another project. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this frame on here, and I'm going to take my pencil and I'm just going to give myself some guidelines. And then I'm just going to put my die. On those guidelines, hold it in place, and just stick it down. And I will be right back. Okay. Just gonna peel that off. Get that out of my way. Pop that out. So now we have our 2 frames. And they line up nicely. Okay. So now we're going to take 1 frame where there they went. Can get some of that out of my way. I'm gonna need my scissors. I can put that up out of my way. Okay. So now we're going to take our 5 1-inch strips, and you're going to put one right there, and this you can use double-sided tape on, you can use Scotch tape or masking tape. And the first one I made, I used double-sided tape. And it made it a little stiff. So the second one I made, I used Scotch tape. And that made it work a lot better. So you're just going to cut yourself a little piece of Scotch tape that will stay within inside your frame. And you're just going to place it right there like that, where you just taped that to your frame. And you're going to do the same thing on this side. And see what that does. It makes it so that flips. Okay? So you'll have, you've got the idea. And you're going to do that with all 5 of them if you're doing a portrait. If you're doing it with a landscape, then you're going to only do it with 4. And you just want to butt them right up together. Don't want them overlapping. You just want them touching. And you're just going to continue taping them. And make sure that they're level with the sides of your frame. They're not overlapping each other. And you're just going to tape on the bottoms. Just like that. And yes, this part is a little bit time consuming, but for the result that you get, it is well worth it. And after you make a couple of them, they get easier. Okay. And we'll do the same thing here. Make sure that they're even on each side and they're just touching. And put your tape on and give it a good varnish, because you want to make sure that it is stuck. But double-sided tape works just as good. It just makes it a little stiffer. And of course, you do not pull off the backing of your double-sided tape, or you will have stuck your card together if you do that. So you want to leave your backing on your double-sided tape. Okay, that's even. Give that a good varnish. Another piece of tape. It's just touching. Take that one and burnish, and see, they all flip. Okay, last one. You just put it right there, like we've done all of them. Make sure that they're even, they're just touching. And you're going to put your tape on the bottom of that one. Then you're going to pick it up and you're going to fold it over to the back side. Okay. And then you're going to do the same right here. You're putting it on the bottom. You're holding on to it. You're turning it over. And you're folding it to the back side, just like that. And see, now they all open up. And with Scotch tape, it does give you a little bit more give than what the double-sided tape does, but that's okay, because once you get it all put together, you don't notice it. That one I gotta get a little closer if I can. There, that's better. Now, of course, that one would have really had to have stuck good. But that's okay, because I can just put another piece of tape on there to hold it. So, there we go. Now, we're going to do the same thing over again. And this is a little harder but nothing drastic. Okay, so now we're gonna put a piece on the tops. Of our little flaps. And be careful not to stick them to the one and to get the placement of your tape so you know it will be in the right spot. You can see where you put your tape there. Okay. Okay. Like I said, this is well worth the card that you get. Okay. So now we do this one. Okay. That one. And this one. Okay. And that one wanted to flip back down. And then last one. Okay, got tape on there. And last piece of tape. Okay. And there. Okay. So now you want to flip these down. Like that. Now, bring in your other frame. And you are going to line it up just like that. Make sure your sides are even. You're lined up good at the top. press down so all your tape sticks. And your last two bottom pieces, fold over to the front and just give it a good varnish along the sides to make sure that your tape has stuck. Okay, so you see what your card does now. It's like a louver. That's what you've made. Okay. Now, take whatever you picked for your picture, line them up in order so you don't, make sure you don't make any mistakes and get them in the wrong order. So take your top one, I should have left that tip down so it didn't take so long to run down. There we go. And just put glue on there. Take your card and lay it right on your top piece, just like that. Make sure it's even. And press it down. Take the next piece, put glue on it, open it up, slide it in to the next piece, make sure that it's even, shut your card, make sure you like the way it's lining up and its placement, press it down. Take your next piece and just repeat the process. Okay. Open it up, slide that piece in, make sure that it's even, shut your card, make sure you like the placement, press it down. slide your next piece in. Make sure it's even. Press it down. Make sure you like the alignment. Press it down. Last piece. And I call this a secret message card because I don't know what it's called. A friend just sent me a little reel and said, hey, can you figure this out? And we'll slide that right in on the bottom piece. Make sure you like the placement. Okay. So, there you go. You see that? Okay. Now, this is where the secret message comes in. Because you take these little papers and you put glue on these. Or, you know, these can be plain, or these could be absolutely another picture. You could use a photograph. And you just stick it in. Line it up. And stick it on the underneath side. And press it down. So you could have two pictures. And this is where you write your little secret message. And you just take that one, stick it in, line it up, press it down. Stick that piece in, line it up, press it down, glue on that piece. Stick it in. Line it up. Press it down. Okay. And then on your bottom here, that's where this piece comes in. So it matches your frame. And that you can just turn over and put on. Okay. And then just stick that right on the bottom, just like that. Okay, so there's your picture, and there's where you can write a little secret message. Okay, now you're going to need 3D tape. And just put it on. Snip it off. And you're only going to want to keep it, you're not going to want to run it on your bottom right here. You're just going to want to run it right along there. Okay. And you all know this is not my favorite double-sided tape. I will be glad when this is gone so I can order the one I like, because when I placed an order that was out of stock, so I had to get this, and I do not like this tape at all. Okay, make sure that that's all stuck good. Don't need a pencil. I need this. Gonna peel off the back. Okay. Now we'll bring in our card. And before you stick this down, make sure that you are good with the placement. And that looks good and straight and even to me. And you just stick it down. Okay. So there is your card, and then you can stamp a sentiment in here. You could write whatever you want. I am not going to fully decorate this card because I'm not going to put you through that, but here is one that I've fully decorated. And there's the little secret message, and there's your card. And that's all there is to it. So I hope you've enjoyed, and until next time, bye-bye.